Logan Mooney of the Mooney Minute. The draft is soon upon us, so I'm going to tell you about my mock draft this year. I see the St. Louis Rams going Jared Goff at quarterback with the #1 pick. Then, at #2, I think the Eagles will take Carson Wentz. With the #3 overall pick, I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trading up and getting cornerback Jalen Ramsey from Florida State. I think he's the best athlete in this draft. Then at #4, I see Dallas taking Joey Bosa, defensive end from the Ohio State. I think he'll do really well in this league. I think he's the best defensive lineman in this draft. Then at #5, I see the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Myles Jack, the linebacker who could also play safety, who's a great athlete from UCLA. I think he'll do really well in the Jaguars defense. Then, with the 6th overall pick, I see the Ravens going offensive line. I will look for Laremy Tunsil, offensive tackle from Ole Miss. He's quick off the line of scrimmage, has quick feet and strong hands. I think he's the best lineman in this draft. Then, at the 8th overall pick, I see the Cleveland Browns going with an Ohio guy. I would look for Ezekiel Elliott, the running back who can just do it all. He's a great athlete, and I think he'll go to Cleveland this year with the 8th overall pick. Then, with the 9th overall pick, I see the San Diego Chargers taking DeForest Buckner, Ronnie Stanley. With the 9th overall pick, I see the San Diego Chargers taking offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley from Notre Dame. He's a good athlete, and I think he'll do really well in the NFL. Then, with the 10th overall pick, I see the New York Giants taking defensive tackle A'Shawn Robinson from Alabama. He's great off the line of scrimmage, knows how to pass rush, and knows how to run, block, and rush. Then, with the 11th overall pick, I see the Bears trading it away for Jets defensive end Muhammad Wilkerson. I would look for the Jets here to take Paxton Lynch, a quarterback from Memphis. The Jets are quarterback needy and really need a quarterback this year. Then with the 12th overall pick, I see the Saints taking wide receiver Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss. He's a great athlete. Doesn't have the best downfield speed, but I think he'll be able to make it in the NFL. Then, with the 13th overall pick, I see the Miami Dolphins taking Florida's corner, Vernon Hargreaves. Then, with the 14th overall pick, I see the Oakland Raiders taking Ohio State's offensive tackle, Taylor Decker. Then, with the 15th overall pick, I see the Tennessee Titans taking Eli Apple, from the corner from Ohio State. With the 16th overall pick, I see the Detroit Lions taking defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins. This could really help out their defensive line, and he's a great athlete from Louisville. He can be one of the greatest linemen in the league next year. Then, with the 17th overall pick, I see the Atlanta Falcons taking Darren Lee, a linebacker from Ohio State. This is Ohio State's 4th player taken in the first round of my mock draft. I think Lee is going to do really well this year. Then, with the 18th overall pick, I see the Indianapolis Colts taking Jack Conklin, an offensive tackle from Michigan State. He's good, a great athlete, and I think he'll be able to do it all. Then, with the 19th overall pick, I see the Buffalo Bills taking Clemson defensive end Shaq Lawson, a great athlete who suffered a knee injury during the playoffs this year, but I think he'll do fine. Then, with the 20th overall pick, I see the New York Jets taking linebacker Reggie Ragland from Alabama. I think he'll do really well this year, especially in that Jets defense. Ragland is the hardest hitter in this draft. Don't you forget it. He's a great athlete. With the 21st overall pick, I see the Washington Redskins taking defensive end Noah Spence from Eastern Kentucky. He was kicked out of Ohio State for having drugs, but he showed every NFL team his past 20 drugs test, which he passed. I think he could really do well this year. Then, with the 22nd overall pick, I see the Houston Texans taking wide receiver Corey Coleman from Baylor. Then, with the 23rd overall pick, I see the Minnesota Vikings taking Josh Doctson, the wide receiver from TCU, another great athlete. Then, with the 24th overall pick, I see Cincinnati going with the third wide receiver in a row and taking Ohio State's Michael Thomas, a great athlete who's the nephew of former NFL wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. Then, with the 25th overall pick, I see the Pittsburgh Steelers going defensive line and helping out the Steel Curtain and going with Jarran Reed, the defensive end and defensive tackle from Alabama. With the 26th overall pick, I see the Seattle Seahawks taking Robert Ndemche from the defensive lineman from Ole Miss. He's a great athlete and could really do it in the NFL. I see him fitting really well in this system. With the 27th overall pick, I see the Green Bay Packers going D-line and taking Kevin Dodd, the defensive end from Clemson. With the 28th overall pick, I see the Kansas City Chiefs taking Leonard Floyd, an outside linebacker from Georgia who's a great player who could fit into this top 10, but I think he'll drop down to 28. With the 29th overall pick, I see the Arizona Cardinals taking Vernon Butler, a defensive lineman from Louisiana Tech. Then, with the 30th overall pick, I see the Panthers going out with a corner to replace Josh Norman. I would look for William Jackson III. He's a great athlete. I think he could replace Josh Norman. Then, with the 31st overall pick, I see the Broncos going Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is one of the great athletes in this draft, and I think they could address their first-round needs in the later rounds with first-round talents. For the Mooney Minute, I'm Logan Mooney.